This isn't just another podcast. It's a movement, a global wave of women from Nairobi to Nashville, Seoul to Sao Paulo, stepping out of the shadows and into the spotlight. Women who are ready to be seen, to be heard, to be unmuted. I'm Anjali Marshall, an award-winning ABC and NBC journalist and speaker, turned business strategist, coach, and mom. My mission? To amplify the voices of women who were never meant to stay silent. One woman, one voice, one story at a time. So go ahead, put on your comfy pants, grab a coffee, and maybe the remote. Are you ready to press the button? Unmuted starts right now. Welcome, 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 everybody. Welcome to Unmuted. I'm your host, Anjali Marshall, and this is where we amplify the voices of women who are finding the power in their voices. They're speaking it boldly, and they're helping other women to do the same. Today's guest is Rachael Smith. She's founder of The Modern Female Leader, a coach and storyteller. She's dedicated to helping ambitious women step into leadership, but she's really wanting to make sure that women do all of this without losing their soul, without losing their families or their sense of self in the process. So with corporate wisdom and deep empathy, Rachael helps women lead with intention, vulnerability, and with vision. And so without further ado, I'm so excited to welcome Rachael to the stage. Welcome to the show, Rachael. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much. This is so exciting. So yeah, I'm really happy to be here. So yes, lovely.
I'm excited that you're here. Thank you for saying yes. And thank you for lending your voice. This is going to be so much fun today. So let me start, Rachael, with asking this question. You've coached women at all levels. What do you think it is that holds women back from stepping into their true leadership? What do you think that is?
I'm so sorry. You broke up there. I couldn't hear. I never heard the beginning part. Sorry.
That's okay. You know what? That's the fun part about interviewing halfway around the world. First, let me start over. Where are you coming from? Where are you right now? Where are you based?
So I'm based in a place called Renfrewshire in Scotland. So in the UK. So it's all the way from Scotland.
Around the world. And so I just think that it's really cool that we even can hear each other and talk to each other and do something.
I know.
Like
yes.
Isn't that amazing? That's okay.
Absolutely.
We'll deal with the technical difficulties. It's perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. So yeah, what I was saying was you have coached so many women, but at all different levels. So what do you think it is that holds women back from stepping into their true leadership?
I think it can be a number of things. I think a lot of the time it's confidence with women, and I think when you look at some of the differences between men and women, men are sometimes a little bit more arrogant, and a bit more. They think they can do it, and they don't really think that they can't do it. Whereas maybe women take more a sort of a step back a bit sometimes and question themselves a little bit more. So I think that's really important sometimes, is that just fake it until you can make it. That's sometimes what I say, and just believe in yourself and that you absolutely can do it, and don't see these, try to just break down those barriers and just go for it as much as you possibly can. But I do think a lot of the time it's definitely a confidence thing. And I think we also, again, not all women, but some women, we compare ourselves to other people as well, don't we? And we think that maybe we can't do that, or we don't believe that we've got the ability to get there, and we absolutely can. And I think you just have to push yourself forward and just make it that so that people can't ignore you. I think sometimes just keep pushing and just having that drive and that ambition and just always pushing forward, and don't let things hold you back. Sometimes, that there will be people that don't want to see you get on in life, and they maybe don't want to do what you're doing, but equally they don't like seeing somebody else getting on. So I think you have to be thick-skinned as well, and just learn to brush those people off and just try and, as I said, just keep pushing forward and driving forward, and don't lose sight of what it is that your end goal is and what your aim is, and don't be afraid to ask for help. Sometimes just ask other people as well. Most people, if there's somebody in that position that you want to do that position, most times people will help you and guide you and advise you as well. You know, look for somebody that's maybe a mentor or who's already doing that role as well. So just to really believe in yourself and keep pushing yourself, and take people on your journey with you as well.
That's fantastic. Rachael, what exactly, can you walk us through what your story has looked like leading you up to this point?
Yes, so I'm 44. I'll be 45 next week, and I'll try not to bore you too much, but when I first started working when I was a young woman, I started working in customer services. I worked in Pizza Hut. I'm allowed to say the name of the place, but I worked in a pizza restaurant when I was younger, and I feel as if it's only probably in the last few years now that I'm in my 40s that I have this voice. And that people are now taking notice of me and now listening to me, but I feel as if it's only taken me 44 years, wow, I suppose, to get. But one of the main things that I had done was during COVID, I had created a ladies' social group, and it's called Renfrewshire Ladies because that's the area that I'm from. And the idea behind that was to bring women together from all different walks of life, all different backgrounds. And it was really about getting back out there after COVID and people just losing that confidence and their social skills, and it's affecting their well-being. It was affecting my well-being. I was working from home, and just I was really struggling with sitting in the house looking at the same four walls, and my friends weren't same. They were still working in workplaces, and I couldn't really relate to them, and they couldn't really relate to what I was going through. And I was part of a bigger ladies group before I created my own group. And the one I was in was called Ladies 40 Plus. So it was a bit more restrictive with ages, whereas mine is just open to any women. And we now have, I think it's nearly 2,000 women in the group. And we meet up every other week. I do say to the ladies in the group that anybody in the group can create an event. It doesn't always have to be me, but it does tend to come down to me. But it's amazing some of the friendships that have been formed, and again, I think perhaps, not everybody, but when you're younger, you can be maybe a bit more judgmental about how people look and how you perceive them. And this group is fantastic because it breaks down all those barriers. You just turn up to an event, and the next thing you know, you've formed this beautiful friendship with somebody that you might not have necessarily thought that you would be friends with. Sure. And it's lovely because, as I said, we come from all different backgrounds, but all different ages, and it's about that common interest. So some of the events I create are we've been to axe throwing, we've been to afternoon teas, we've to trying to think some of the other things that we've done. Just I do murder mystery events. We've been to a bee school to find out about bees. We've done some really, really interesting things, and I feel sometimes I've got to try and outdo myself because one of the ladies said, "Oh, the bee school was amazing. You have to try and outdo yourself, Rachael, and find some other event." So, and then part of the reason I did that was because some of my friends didn't want to do the things that I wanted to do. Mm-hmm. So I would say, "Oh, do you want to go to sure, do you want to go to after?" "Oh no, I don't really fancy that." So again, when I created the group, I thought, well, surely there'll be somebody else out there who'll want to do what I want to do. And also, I think it's given a lot of women have said to me that I've changed their life. And I used to laugh at this because I used to think, I've just created an event. I've not really done anything amazing. Wow. But what I have done is quite amazing. And I've built up this network of women who, as I said, that we all have these beautiful friendships, and there's always somebody there who probably want to do whatever it is that you want to do as well. So yeah, it's amazing actually what I've done. But yeah, I have women coming up to me and saying it's amazing, and I now take it as rather than go, "No, it's not. I've not done anything amazing." So I'm like, well, maybe I have done something good. So yeah, it's really beautiful, and I think they come to me and ask me sometimes they'll ask me for advice and ask me about different things. And I know some of the ladies, they get quite anxious and they have anxiety about coming to events, and they don't want to create their own events because they don't have that confidence to do that. So I'll say, well, that's fine. I'm happy to always create the event, and we'll meet you there. We'll meet outside. We'll go in together. I'll give you my number so that you don't have that sort of fear of, some people have that fear of walking into a room on their own and they think that we all know each other. But because there's so many women in the group now, it's quite often I'm meeting people for the first time as well, and I can't possibly know all 2,000 women that are in the group. So yeah, it's lovely. But people say that it's warm, it's welcoming, and there are a few similar groups in the area. But people, they say to me that they like mine because we have fun. It's not too serious. We went to play interactive darts, and one of the ladies, it made me laugh because she said, I didn't come because I thought I had to be a professional darts player. And I said, of course you don't have to be a professional darts player. We just go and we have fun, and we have a phrase here, you take the mickey out of yourself a little bit. You just make fun of yourself if you can't do it. So yeah, it's been really beautiful. And I suppose one of the other things that I'm involved in now is I host a radio show, a weekly radio show on an online radio station. Yeah. And I really want to try and men and women, anybody can come on the show that wants to come on the show, and they talk about what they're doing in the area. But I'm really, really keen for women to come on and women to tell their story. And I've had some amazing women on my show. I had a lady on who specialises in integrated hair systems. So she was telling stories about how she has men and women that come to her, but more so women who've lost their hair, if it's been alopecia or it's been cancer. And she said that some women have said to her, I've wanted to come here for 3 years, but I've never had the confidence to come. So she's, and she's amazing. She's amazing at what she does. And it's all, people make appointments and it's all confidential. It's all, they come in and they get their hair fitted. And also she was telling me about a wee girl, a child who came in, and this wee girl had said that was the best day of her life when this lady had fitted her wig for her. So I think it's really important that I'm having women on that are making a difference to other women's lives, because your hair is such an important part of your identity as a woman. Yeah. And the other lady I had on who specialised in, she had a beauty academy, but also she specialised in permanent makeup. Oh. And so again, if a lady's lost her eye, that I thought she said was her favourite thing to do was the areola reconstruction of your nipple. So it was, again, she said that it's such a big thing and again it's for men and women who may have lost their nipple. So just really keen to have women on who want to talk about maybe their journeys or where they've been. I had a lady who's a female DJ. She was from Scotland. She'd moved to Dubai, and again, just some of the challenges she faced with it being so male dominated industry. I had a lady on who walked from her Glasgow home to Rome. She did that all for charity, and it's just amazing. Some of these women that I've had on, I've had musicians on, I've had artists on, and it's just fantastic to be able to have these people on and hear their stories as well, and hopefully to inspire other women to do the same as well.
Wow, Rachel, you are like this quiet, deadly force.
I know, and some of the things I've been involved in. There's also an organisation called Creative Renfrewshire, which is a volunteer-led organisation, and they're trying to bring together people from sort of arts, culture, the heritage sector as well. So I'm on the board for that as well. So. And because of my connections and my involvement within the local community, they're happy to have me because I have the connections with and I'm known and I'm trusted within my ladies group, and we do so many different lovely events within the ladies group, and there is that crossover between, we've done some beautiful glass painting workshops, we've done painting workshops, so we do walks, we do talks, we do tours, we do so many different things. So it's a really, for me, it's a really good fit between my ladies group and the radio and the sort of creative side of it as well, and hopefully I can kind of tie them all in together, if you like.
Wow. I was going to ask you to share a client story, like just a woman's story, but you have so many stories.
Yeah.
Is there one that stands out, a woman who was just afraid to speak or didn't realize the power of her voice, and through your events, just, she became unmuted?
Well, yes, actually, there's quite a few ladies. So there's one lady in particular, I won't say her name, but when she first came, she was very, very anxious, and she would cancel sometimes because she was so anxious about coming to things. And just, when she used to work full time, and she had retired, and she'd had some health issues, and then now it's like a flower has blossomed. This lady now comes, and we do one of the events that I do on a regular basis, are the fully scripted murder mystery events. So I buy all the box kit, and I'm the detective or the inspector, and I facilitate it. And the ladies that come, they can be the suspects, if you like, and not just this one lady, but she's amazing, and she absolutely loves it. And every time, she wants a part, and she puts her so much gusto, and she puts so much passion into this. And I think this is not the same lady who first came here, like maybe a couple of years ago, because she was like a timid, quiet little mouse. And again, she's one of the ladies that will say to me that I've changed her life ultimately, because she, and it's funny because they all, as soon as I say I'm doing a murder mystery event, they all, can I have a part? So I've got about there's 6 ladies that always want to, I feel as though, give someone else a shot. Someone else might want a shot of playing one of the suspects. But it's beautiful. And she goes to, these ladies go to so much effort. They dress up, they buy things from charity shops for their character. And I didn't used to dress up, but now I'm like, wait a minute, I should be dressed. If they're all dressing up, I want to dress up too.
You have to dress up.
So yes, it's really amazing that the difference that I see in some of these ladies that come to from when they first come to, and they've came in that journey with me as well. They've, and they come to most of the events that I put on, and they say they wouldn't miss them. So yeah, it's really, really beautiful. It's really lovely.
Oh, I love that so much. And yes, absolutely, you have to dress up for a murder mystery.
So we've got one tomorrow night. So it's called Mamma Mia Murder. So again, it's going to be kind of ABBA themed. So yeah, everybody's got so fun. They've got their costumes all looked out, and when somebody new is coming along, they say, "Do I have to dress up?" I'm going, "No, but it's encouraged."
It is for sure. So Rachel, when it comes to like your mindsets, I know that most of us, it has been a journey, right? To get to the point where, because you said that you really didn't feel like your voice was heard until you arrived into your 40s, right? So once you were in your 40s and you started to feel like, okay, my voice is starting to be heard now, were there habits or mindsets that you had to sort of rework or change?
I think just that, again, maybe that confidence thing, and thinking, maybe I actually do have something good to say. Whereas before I've always thought I talk a lot of rubbish, or who's going to want to listen to me, but now I have, and I find it hard to say no to people. So, for example, the Creative Renfrewshire, they approached me and said about, would you like to be on our board? Now, I've never been a director on a board before, so I was like, and it's nice that somebody's seeking me out to, I've not been headhunted, but it's nice that people are obviously see me as doing something useful and valuable for the community. And and I was also asked to be a judge at a local poetry competition. It was a poetry slam. So I don't know an awful lot about poetry, but it was myself and two others, and it was beautiful. It was such a beautiful, lovely event to go to, and it was sold out. And it was so nice to be asked to do that and be part of it. And then when you're at these events, people come and talk to me and they recognise me and they know me, just within, I'm not a celebrity by any matter of means, but just within that sort of town in the small village. And, and people will say, what do you think about this and what do you think about that? And people are asking me, and I think because I get things done and they see me doing things rather than just talking about it, people tend to come to me and because I think they know that she'll get it done, she'll do it, she'll actually see it through from the start to the end. So yeah, but it has been a challenge, and I think even like I was saying before, you do get people, the naysayers and the people who don't want to see you getting on. And I think there's been some issues with there was some men as well, and you think, what is it? Do you think I'm I don't know, a silly woman? What is it that you think? Or are you, and sometimes I think they underestimate me a little bit, and it's actually once they see what I'm capable of doing and what I've been doing and what I do and how I work, that people realise, oh, wait a minute, maybe we should have taken her more seriously. So I think it's just about, as I said, believing in yourself and just keep pushing. And even with my radio show, I really have to promote that as much as I can. There's so many places that you can't advertise an online radio station. They won't advertise an online radio show. So it's just about how thinking outside the box sometimes, and how can I promote myself and how can I get out there. So, I use LinkedIn, I use Facebook, and I've only recently joined TikTok and Instagram. And just about what else is available advertising wise or marketing wise, and just really, really, as I said, keep plugging away, keep pushing at it, and don't give up. It can be easy to walk away, or as I said, if somebody says something that's maybe derogatory about what you're doing, is just, I know I'm doing a good job and I know I'm doing a good thing, and I'm just going to park you to the side and not think about you, and just keep it says more about them than it does about you, I think, when people start. But it takes a little bit of time to kind of, maybe I do have something interesting to talk about, or maybe I am actually good at what I do. so yeah.
Absolutely. Wow. And so, Rachel, what advice would you give, or would you offer a woman who's listening, who is ready to lead, but she just doesn't know how or where exactly to start?
I think, look up if there's other women that that inspire you, or that you aspire to be like, and maybe see what they're doing as well. I know that I follow lots of, I don't mean in a stalker type way. I mean online, online, and what messages they're doing and how they're doing it. And even, as I said, don't be afraid to ask other women, how do you do this, or how do you get there? And just, find people that may help you. And for example, when I started to get involved I'm involved in a local heritage page and group as well. And it's a man that runs that, and I started to create events for that. And then from that came the radio things that I do in the radio. They approached me about, did I want to go in there and talk about the events? And then they were looking for a presenter, and it's all voluntary. And it's an amazing way to get your voice out there. So if people are wanting to do that sort of thing, I would be saying to them, see what's available. I don't know how it works in other countries, but and certainly in the UK, there's lots of radio stations out there who are looking for voluntary presenters, and you might be lucky enough to get something like what I've got. And the team there have been fantastic to me, and they've more or less said, it's your show, you can do what you want, you can have on who you want, when you want, and just go with it. So I've been really lucky that I've got that free rein there. But if that's something, and even if it's not maybe radio you want to go into, it might be television or whatever you want to go into, it's still a great starting point, I think. And but even if it's if it's at work, or it's something that you really want to do, I think it's just about putting yourself forward. You've really got to put yourself forward. It's not going to come to you. It's not going to just be handed to you on a plate. I think you've got to push yourself forward, and you do have to work hard at it to, and I'm not where, I've still got lots I want to do, but I feel like I'm now on the right path, and I'm now getting there. And as I said, it's now that people are kind of like, and people come up to me in the supermarkets and they talk to me and they don't know me, but they say, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I see you on Facebook, or I see you here, and I feel like I know you." So I'm always like really touched by that, and I'm always like, "Thank you so much for listening to if it's my radio show or it's one of my little videos or whatever it is." And I just think it's really nice. And I think, always be nice to people on the way up, because you're probably going to meet them on the way back down. That's the other piece of advice I would give people as well. Yeah. So absolutely. And don't take any of it for granted. I think as well, it's just important to be humble and just remember that that you've got people. If you've got people lucky enough to have people around you that are supporting you and helping you, then just don't forget about them as well. So yeah.
You talked about people who would surround you and support you. What does your support system
look like? Sorry, you're breaking up. It's coming and going a bit. Yes, I think that's you now.
Tell me a little bit about your support system.
So I'm lucky enough. I've got my partner, and I've got we've got my family as well. My mum and I get on the phone, and we have a good moan sometimes about things. But yes, I've made some really good friends throughout the groups that I'm involved in, and also I've got friends that I've had for a long time since I was a young woman. So yeah, I think that's really important to be able to maybe let off steam sometimes about certain situations that you're in, but I'm quite direct. So I usually, if somebody does something to bother me, I'll just sort of try and talk it out. And my actual full-time job, if you like, is working in human resources. So I'm used to having those difficult conversations, or I don't tend to shy away from that sort of, if there's any kind of, I hate to say confrontation, but those challenging kind of maybe difficult situations, and sometimes you do find that people can be challenging, and sometimes you have to say, look, I don't think this is for you, particularly in the ladies group. Sometimes it can be challenging behaviour from other women in the group, which is just touch wood, it's been few and far between. So but I tend to try and deal with things head on as much as possible if I can. But yes, I do have a good support system with my family, my friends, and my partner around about me as well.
That's great. Rachael, thank you so much for sharing your wisdom. And your story is just very encouraging, because I know that sometimes as women, we tend to compare ourselves.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And that's just one of the worst things that we could ever possibly do.
Yeah.
Because usually we're comparing ourselves to someone that we think is way up here, but the actual truth is that they have challenges too. And that, you know what I mean? And so I'm just so grateful for your story. And I'm grateful that you have sort of leveled the playing field here. It's very clear. Like, we all have challenges, and we can all overcome them. And I just love the way that you have tackled so many of the challenges. But you've paved this creative path for women to be a part of something, and to sort of grow out of I don't have a voice, my voice doesn't matter. And then what did you say, like a year or two later, some of the women that you've been in this group with have flourished.
Oh, you broke. Oh yes, absolutely, absolutely. And it's funny, when there was an event that we went to. It was a cocktail making event, and I had made a wee mistake with the details, and I thought we got 3 cocktails, but we only got 2. I was adamant I was right, and this young man was making the cocktails, and there was 40 women. There was 40 of us here on the other side of the bar from the man. So I don't think he was going to argue with 40 women. So
you don't want to argue with 40 women.
No. I was like, no, it says 4 or 3 or whatever it was. And I kept showing, and he was like, but it was the way it was worded. I think it said you make 3 out of 4 or whatever it was, or you can choose from 4 after it. I was like, oh, actually, we got an extra cocktail there, but I thought, yeah, this boy was not going to, he was not for budging. So I think there's something also about when women unite and women come together as well. It's like this amazing force that, you know, we're all there together, and we're all there, we've all got each other's backs, and we're all there for each other. So yeah, it's really lovely, and it's a really nice, it's a really lovely network and community. And also I think sometimes, you know, I always like to try and keep it lighthearted and not get too serious about things. But yeah, sometimes there will be women who, they don't have anybody else, and this is why they've joined the group, because they don't have maybe that support network, or their friends have drifted apart, or various things have happened. So quite often, you know, they'll start to talk about maybe a health issue, or if they're lonely, or their well-being, and then it's amazing the amount of other women who maybe have been in that same situation. So that's just great as well. And then they can bounce off each other, and have you tried this? Have you done this? What about this? And so yeah, it's really beautiful. It's a lovely thing.
I love that. Rachel, thank you for sharing your story. Now it's time for something that I call, do you remember the surprise I told you about?
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, you said a surprise. I don't think you told me what it was.
Okay. So it's called Hot Mic. Okay. So it's 15 fun, strategic, but also pretty random questions.
Okay.
Rapid fire. It's rapid fire.
Okay.
So
Okay.
The only rule here, Rachel, is you have to say the first thing that comes to mind. The first.
Okay, I'll try.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. What is your go-to karaoke song or dance anthem?
Oh, okay. And you broke up a little bit there, but I think you asked me about a karaoke song. Is that what you asked me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, oh gosh, let me think. I'm trying to think. Dusty Springfield, Son of a Preacher Man. I love that song.
Okay. What is a phrase you wish more women would say out loud?
Probably, I am good enough, and I can do this. You know, you were talking earlier. I won't distract you too much from what you're doing, but about that comparing yourself. You know, like everybody's unique, everybody's different, and everybody's got something to bring to the table. So don't be comparing yourself to other women. So yeah,
love that. What's your favorite book or podcast for leaders?
Oh my goodness, gosh. I've listened to quite a few HR things over the years, and there's one, and I can't for the life of me remember the name of it. I know it's about a lady Faye, and it's about, what's it called? Something about coffee. I'm not sure, but I know she works. I know it's an HR. I've not listened to it for a little while, but yeah, but I would probably say probably that one. Yeah, so it's good for just to sort of motivate you. And I can't remember her surname. That's terrible, but I know her first name's Faye, and I'm sure the word coffee's in it.
That's okay. What is your personal superpower?
Oh my goodness. I think that I'm good at kind of making people feel relaxed and kind of letting that guard down. And I think, just, you know, the women, and I meant to say this earlier, but we're all just ordinary women, but we're doing extraordinary things, if that makes sense. So yeah, I think trying and making people, I think I'm quite good at encouraging people, and, you know, bringing them out their shell, and yeah, so yeah.
I agree with that. What is a leadership must-have for you?
Gosh, that's a hard one. So, because there's so many different things, but I think being authentic and being yourself, I think, is really, really important. Don't, as we said, don't try to change yourself too much away from who you are and who makes you the person that you are, because I think people see that. And I think, you know, even when I'm doing a radio show and people come on, and sometimes I think, oh, gosh, I shouldn't have said that. But then I thought, do you know what? It's me, and it's real and it's raw and it's authentic and it's coming from the heart. So I think that's really important, is trying not change yourself too much, that you're someone completely different to who you were when you started out.
That's great, Rachel. Are you an early bird or a night owl?
Oh, I would say I always wake up early, but that's not always that I've had a good sleep. So I would probably say more of a night owl. I tend to come more awake when at nighttime. So yeah, I have my best ideas at nighttime.
Okay. Coffee or tea?
Tea every time. I don't like coffee. I can't drink coffee.
Okay. Good to know. The biggest risk you have ever taken?
Oh gosh, the biggest risk I've ever taken. Ooh, I don't know. I mean, I feel as if maybe the radio station. I mean, I was really, really nervous when I started because they told me, they said it has to be either a 1 hour show, a 2 hour show, or a 3 hour show. A minimum show can be an hour, and it goes out 3 times a week, and you can have guests on. And I was so scared that I was going to be putting out. And again, I think they wanted me at the radio station because I've got so many connections and so many contacts. Right. And I was really worried about that sort of the expectation of me. And I was thinking, what if this falls flat in its face? Or what if I do 2 shows and nobody else wants to come on, nobody listens in? So it's been amazing that it's really taken off so much. And I now have a waiting list of people that want to come on. We Love have something like 350,000 people from all over the world tune in, all the way from Paisley in Scotland, which is a little town, to Peru. So it's just wow. They tune in and they listen to my chat show. So, and I know it's voluntary, so I didn't have an awful lot to lose, but I suppose there was that piece of my reputation, if you like, and people thinking, oh, Rachel's going to have a radio show, what's she going to do next? And then me thinking, oh gosh, what if this doesn't work out? And it was quite nerve-wracking. So I'm pleased that it has. And if it all falls apart now, then I've still done it for been nearly a year that I'll be doing it for. I've still had a really nice time, and I think my guests enjoy it as well, and they love coming in and getting their wee bit of 5 minutes of fame, if you like, and getting shared online and on the air and everything like that. So yeah, but I feel it was quite. I felt scared about it after I was committed to it.
Oh my goodness, that's so wonderful, Rachel. Just a few more rapid fires. Mm-hmm. Most cherished family tradition.
Oh my goodness. Oh goodness, that's a hard one. So I'm trying to think of what family traditions that we have here. So probably just getting together with my family when it's special occasions. We don't see each other all that often, my family and extended family. So it is nice when we get together and we kind of share memories, and we talk about old times. And yeah, I was brought up in a farm, so we quite often go back to the farm I was brought up in, and my mum has a big family meal, and my mum's a lovely cook, and she's a lovely baker, and she makes all nice homemade and home cooked food. So yeah, that's nice just to go back to the sort of family home again.
Nice. If you could master one skill overnight, have it mastered, what would it be?
Oh gosh, I don't know. Well, that's a hard one. And I know I could come across as really confident, but I think a confidence thing as well. And I think sometimes this is all a mask. Just maybe just believe in myself more sometimes, and just think, yeah, you can do it, and you've done it. You've done it, Rachel. You've done it. So just keep going and do more and do more. So yeah, but just believe in myself maybe a little bit more.
What is the most used emoji in your phone?
I think probably the laughing face emoji. So I probably use the laughing face one. And it took me ages to even use emojis because I just like typing and to the point and words.
So get it done.
I would say, and just do it. So yeah, sometimes maybe to soften something, you just put a laughing emoji so that it doesn't seem cheeky as well.
That's fun. Obviously, you have to use the smiley or the laughing face.
Yeah,
I think everybody.
Yeah.
What's the hardest lesson that you've learned this year? The hardest lesson?
I think not to take things to heart and not take things personally. And I had, and I know I keep going on about this about men, but I think I had an incident recently actually with a man who contacted me, and he said that I was trying to harm his business. And I was absolutely horrified at this because I thought, why does this man think I would want to harm his business? And I thought, it's interesting that he obviously sees me as some sort of threat to his business. And it just amazed me that this man, who is very successful at what he does, I'm not really doing what he's doing at all. And he said he'd been made aware of this situation. So that's, to me, somebody else that's stirring it a little bit for me. And it was really unsettled me, because I thought there's somebody out there that's maybe not potentially watching me, but not, not liking what I'm doing. And then the next day after that, there was an interview with me that had been with the Radio Times, which is a publication over here, and it's called the Face Behind the Voice, and it was about me and about my show, and it had been made public. And I wanted to share that on my social media to say to people but it made me really, because this had happened the night before, this man had contacted me, I was like, I don't know if I want to share that now, because somebody out there is potentially watching my every move and trying to make my life difficult. And then I thought, you know what? I'm going to just put it out. I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. And I thought, I'll just keep the knowledge up here about this situation that, that this person feels for some reason a little bit threatened by me. And I do not know. I do not know why, but I just thought it was really interesting, the dynamics and the way that it had came about. So, but yeah, as I said, just keep going, just keep pushing on, and just keep doing what I'm doing.
That's really great. Your dream mentor, living or dead?
Oh, sorry, you broke up there.
Dream mentor, living or dead?
Oh my goodness, my dream mentor. Oh my goodness, that's a hard one. It
is a hard one.
I think you just think about, there's so many successful women out there. I mean, I don't know, even people like, I don't know, Madonna, or just women that are really, really, have made it, they've been so successful and just really pushing themselves forward. And someone like Madonna as well, she's always transformed herself, hasn't she? She's always come back stronger than ever before. And I think it's just amazing what she does as well. So yeah, it feels as if that wasn't a great answer, but I can't. I can't really think who else.
There's no wrong answers. This is rapid fire and completely random. completely random.
You've broken up. Sorry.
Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes, you're back.
Okay, you did great, Rachel.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for reminding us that leadership starts with self-trust and grows with every choice that we make, especially the choices to use our own voice. So thank you, Rachel, for being here. I love your story. And I just...
Oh, no, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for being here. And for everybody who's watching this episode, please reshare this with a friend or a mentor who is ready for more honest conversations and a more honest version of leadership for themselves. And I think that this is going to be a very helpful podcast for them, a very helpful episode with Rachael specifically. Rachael, thank you again for being here. Where can listeners follow your work? Where can they find you?
Oh, you've broken up again.
That's okay.
Oh yeah, I think you're back now. Sorry.
Can you tell listeners where to find you? How can they follow you?
So I'm on Insta. So I think it's Rachael Smith 320. I'm on Insta. I'm on Facebook. I'm on TikTok. So yeah, you can find me. You'll see my profile. I look quite like this. So and I'm on LinkedIn as well. So it's Rachael Smith. And I'm trying to think what else have I got. So yeah, I'm on Insta, I'm on TikTok, I'm on Facebook, and I'm on LinkedIn. And I try to sort of share on all those platforms. But yeah, I think it's just really important, like we were saying earlier, just be yourself, be your true authentic self, be raw, be real, just say it. And I think even things like your topic, comparing yourself, like I joined Instagram and I put a post on one day of videos of my dog in my house, and I thought, oh my goodness, look at the state of my house. And then I thought, you know what? That's my house. It's not an Instagram perfect house. Yep. So just be yourself.
That's what people want. They want authenticity, and they get that with you, Rachael. So thank you for being here. Yeah. And thank you guys so much. Absolutely. And thank you all for watching. We are so delighted to be able to say, Rachael, welcome to the Unmuted family. Yay.
Oh, thank you. Yay.
High five, Rachael. You're here. You did it.
Yay.
And thank you all for watching. And we'll see you on the next episode of Unmuted. Bye for now. What you just heard wasn't just a story. It was a spark, a glimpse into the heart of a woman living her purpose, and a reminder that when one woman shares, another woman wakes up to what's possible. These aren't just conversations, they're catalysts. I'm your host, Anjali Marshall, and this is the Unmuted Podcast, where voices rise, stories connect, and purpose finds its volume. Until next time, friends, stay unmuted.